D2Gs, how you guys doing out there today? We got ourselves another video here, our Sorcerer Mage. We want to go ahead and be healing everybody as the Mage, and as the Sorcerer part, we're going to be doing some pain, some damage, some killing. As you can see here in this clip here, guys, we will be proccing Radiant, we will be proccing Devour, we will be healing ourselves, and if we were on the fire team, we will be healing them too with our turret. Our healing buddy turn. Alright guys, so please finish watching the clips here, seeing what the build can do, and I'll see you guys on the build. And for the build, here's the drip. A couple of my clanmates said that I look like I should be on a Christmas tree, but I don't believe that one bit. All right, let's go ahead and continue, guys. Okay, so now for our aspects, we're gonna go ahead and use Feed the Void, and we're gonna go ahead and use Hellion. So Feed the Void, of course, I really never take this off, but as soon as you proc Devour, you're gonna be granted grenade energy and restoring your health. So long as you continue killing any ads, you will continuously reset the timer for Devour, and you will always have grenade energy and or restore your health. For the next aspect is going to be Hellion, because who does not like a solar buddy? It does a lot of damage, it scorches, who doesn't want that? For our abilities, we're going to go ahead and use Healing Grenade, which is basically best paired. You have to use it in order for you to go ahead and take advantage of a healing turret with our exotic helmet. Next ability is going to be Arcane Needles. As soon as you go ahead and throw those arcane needles, is going to go ahead and proc Devour and so forth, and it's a nice beautiful chain of reaction. For our next ability here, it's going to be Phoenix Dive, which is the best route to go if you want to go ahead and proc your solar buddy as fast as possible. You're going to gain that back every 10 to 15 seconds. I know here it says cooldown 55 seconds, but with the way that the build is set up, you're going to be getting it back between 10 to 15 seconds. Super is going to be the Song of Flame. This super is very powerful. You're unkillable for about 15 seconds. Highly suggest you go ahead and use that, but with this build is going to work tremendously because you are a Sorcerer Mage, as I like to call it for all my D&D players out there. And that's exactly what I'm about, a Sorcerer Mage. I'm healing, I'm killing, I'm doing everything under the sun. Okay guys, so for the frag, we're gonna go ahead and use Facet of Dawn. By us using our power melee hits, we're gonna be granted Radiance. Our next frag is gonna go ahead and be Awakening by us defeating all of our targets as fast as possible with any of our light or darkness. We're going to be generating elemental pickups. In our situation here is going to be fire sprites and or tangles, and because we are using our other fragment over here, which is Facet of Honor, if we pick up those elemental pickups, fire sprite and or tangles is going to go ahead and help give us energy for our transcendent meters. The next frag is going to be Facet of Purpose. By us picking up an orb of power, it'll go ahead and grant us restoration. And for the last frag is going to be Balance. By us, since we're using our light and darkness, we're going to be respectively gaining energy for our melee and or our grenades. Okay, now for our helmet, which is the main event. Our exotic helmet, Speaker Sight, which is the brand new exotic for the season. By you dropping your healing grenade, you're going to go ahead and create that turret. And by you creating that turret, it'll go ahead and also have a 50% chance of spawning an orb of power. Now, on the helmet, we're going to go ahead and use 2 harmonic siphons. I use 2 solar harmonic siphons because we're using solar and I want to create as much orbs of power as possible. And we have heavy ammo finder. For our gauntlets, we're going to go ahead and use grenade kickstart as well as a focusing strike. But now, if you happen to have an artifice gear, then go ahead and put on another grenade kickstart. For the chest piece, we're going to go ahead and use emergency reinforcement and of course put on any other resistance mod that you may use or need for that activity. For the boots, we're going to go ahead and have 2 solar weapon surges. The only reason why I'm doing 2 solar weapon surges because of course we're using our solar weapons, but these grant me about 18% more damage once I pick up an orb of power. But if you choose to only want to use one, you can go ahead and swap it out to any one of these to your liking or to your playstyle. For the bond, we're going to go ahead and use, of course, Reaper, because as soon as you use your ability, you want to be guaranteed an orb of power when you defeat an enemy with your weapons. And we're using Bomber as well as we're going to go ahead and use Powerful Attraction. For our weapons, we're going to go ahead and use the Call, which is a sidearm. And for this whole entire setup here, this is Legendary Law Sector or Expert Law Sector hard activity ready, because the Call is a sidearm and the sidearm takes care of your unstoppable. But now if you happen to need to switch that out and you happen to need to use a hand cannon, highly suggest go ahead and craft this one up if you can. I have the bold endings, which is the perfect setup for the hand cannon because hand cannons are going to be for your overloads. And now you're not going to be skipping a beat because the bold endings is a stasis, which is also still considered a darkness weapon because remember, strand is a darkness, stasis is darkness. So you're not going to be skipping a beat in this build in order for you to go ahead and get your transcendent energy if you should need it. So you're good to go. Next weapon is going to be Rare Death, which of course as soon as you hit final blows, you're going to be creating cure for yourself. And for the last heavy weapon, I'm using the Apex Predator, which is the rocket launcher, but you can choose to use any rocket launcher or any heavy in this slot to your playstyle. For our artifact, we are using, make sure you have Radiant Orbs, Shield Crush, as well as Counter Energy. So for your Radiant Orbs, as soon as you pick up an Orb of Power, you're going to be granted Radiance. And once you do pick up, or once you are Radiant, you're going to be granted energy for your grenades by having the Shield Crush. Here with the Counter Energy, so long as, let's say if you're doing a hard content and any of your fire team members happens to stun a champion, you're also going to be granted energy for the least charged ability that you have. And of course, try to get that 100 resilience, 100 discipline, and try to get to as close as possible to the 100 in the recovery, guys. Alright guys, and with that, I'm going to go ahead and finish it off with this clip here from the Expert Loss Sector so you guys can kind of see the healing factor as well as the damage output factor here for our Sorcerer Mage build. And hopefully you guys have liked it and hopefully it helped you guys, alright? Appreciate you guys. Please like, subscribe. If you got a little comment, please drop it down at the bottom. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
And that's a wrap of today's news.